Welcome back to Run It Back with Max and RJ. We are joined here with David Sears. And guys, I hate to say it, but it seems like the season ended.
Wait a minute. I got the short cheater.
I don't know. And I promise I did not do that intentionally.
I think Dom gave that one to you on purpose. Actually, RJ put that one over there.
No, I moved this one over there. No, I didn't even test these beforehand, so I don't know. But yeah, these are...
Guys, this is why we can't have nice things. This is it. It's just so RJ can look down on you while he's talking.
So.
He's going to talk
be like
at
the
you
only
instead of to
time
you.
that I ever, not have to actually like, hey, what's up, dude?
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so actually getting back to everything, it seems like the season ended a little bit early. What's up?
I tried it when I wouldn't go up.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You
And
guys-
no, it moves up when you stand up.
Yeah, but
But then
doesn't
when you
stay
sit-
up.
Well, that's what happened to mine too. So
The first 3 minutes of this podcast is
Are
going to be us
just
working on
amazing.
the chair.
Well, I'll
this
sing.
is amazing.
But guys, go ahead.
Podcasting.
All right,
here.
This is
anyway.
what happens when the Spurs get
It's-
knocked out in the first round.
There you
That's what
go.
I'm talking
Knocked
about.
out in the first round. So
Yeah.
are you guys calling the season a win?
A win?
Are you calling the season a win? In retrospect, looking back.
Well, so I think in full context, I'm going to say yes, it's a win. They were not predicted to make the playoffs. 8 new guys on this roster. Manu leaves, Tony leaves, Kawhi leaves. Obviously, that's huge. I mean, we're talking about a ton of corporate knowledge out of the building, out of the facility, out of the locker room. Really kind of had to come together early on. It looked like they were going to be one of the worst teams in the West.
Yeah.
Kind of turned it around.
They played
and,
like that.
Yeah, and they did. Yeah, and they
Yeah,
and they pushed. They bounced back multiple times throughout the season, and so yeah, I'm going to say it was a win.
Added to what you just mentioned, the fact that they had guys playing out of position. They didn't even have a point guard. Forbes ended up being the point guard, and he did very well at point guard. And Derek White started off hurt, so that was a detriment to their success right there. So they made up a lot of ground once they got used to all the faces. So yeah, I would have to call it a win.
Calling the season a win.
I'd have to call it
Everything
a win.
you know
Sure.
now, you're calling it a win.
Sure.
Everything you know now, and it's still, but yet that doesn't take away the frustration of them
No.
losing this series because
They
that
need to learn
was
how to
there for
inbound
them.
the ball.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're talking about a 7
Yeah.
taking a 2 to game 7. I mean, just looking at that.
Looking at the numbers alone.
I mean, that's a pretty good. You'd have to give them credit. That's pretty
Right,
good. season.
you gotta
Because
give 'em
a
credit where
2's
credit's due.
A 2's not supposed to lose to a 7.
No.
Then if it wasn't
Yeah.
for a couple of shots at the end, they might
So
have lost to a 7.
here's the question.
Oh, whoa,
What
okay.
happened in the last 30 seconds of the game? There are several theories of what might have happened and
Well-
what should have happened. So from your perspective, what happened?
It wasn't even a theory. They didn't foul.
No, I'm saying why. Why didn't they foul?
I don't know. I don't go with they couldn't hear Pop because there was enough veterans on the floor at the time to know that they should have fouled.
Yeah, because look, LaMarcus and,
I'm not going with
DeMar alone have been in
Yeah.
countless playoff
Right.
games.
Yeah.
They should have known the time. They should have known the score.
Even Patty as well too, because I think Patty had a chance to either foul Jamal Murray or Jokic also when they kind of like switched up at the top of the near the half court line. Just a mental breakdown.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what other way to say it. I mean, other than Pop running out there and fouling Jokic himself.
Because he was out there yelling.
He was yelling, and you could see if you look at the other guys, DeMar, Rudy, and Bryn, they're all kind of at the bottom near the baseline,
Yeah.
and they're just kind of like, well, what's going on here? They obviously didn't want to leave their man because if Jokic throws it to one of those guys in the corner, then the time runs out and it's over. So LaMarcus, I mean, just the ultimate mental fail on his part,
Yeah.
and there's no other way I could describe what happened there in those last 30 seconds.
Total frustration.
So you're blaming the players.
Yeah, I mean, who are you going to blame? I mean, Pop's screaming and yelling. I can blame the fans for
Standing
being
on
too
the
loud.
halftime.
Well, that's what happens when you don't get home court advantage.
So you think it was
Boom,
because
right there.
you think it was because they couldn't hear him?
No, partially, but I mean, like I said, you don't have to. You should know.
You should know when
in
there's
that
30 seconds
situation,
down 4.
You've been in enough games in your basketball career to know that in that situation, what do? You foul. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they were hoping he would pass it and
get a steal.
And get a steal. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
I wonder.
just-
Here's my thing. I wonder if you put some truth serum in LaMarcus, if he thought that the Spurs were down by 3, and he just
And he
thought,
thought they'd get
and
one
he
more
thought they
shot.
would get one more shot as
one
long
more
as
J.R.
they made
Smith
Denver,
theory?
as long as they made Denver miss, they would still get about 3-4 seconds to get a game time 3-pointer.
And
I see
that's the
no
thing
other
that-
reason why he would
Yeah.
not foul in that moment.
But that's
I
the other
just do
thing
not
is,
understand.
is they still had a timeout left too.
And that
So
was
they take a timeout home with him. Maybe he was thinking,
Yeah.
that they'll miss. We'll get it. We'll get a timeout. We'll set up our offense. We'll tie. Go to overtime.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
don't know what he
I've
was
heard
thinking.
I've heard some other some other theories about just Pop. It looked like he was calling for a foul, but he kind of was not as demonstrative in calling for the
He was
foul.
standing on the sideline
He was
going
kind
like
of
this.
and
what's he
that
supposed to do, go out there
what's
and
he?
foul, like you said?
I don't know. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, what is Pop supposed to do?
I liked your
just
theory
don't
of running
understand
out
it.
there and fouling Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
That would have stopped it.
It would have. I mean, they would have gotten a tag for sure. I mean, but
Yeah.
it would have stopped the
But
But then you're
clock.
at 5. It's still a 2-possession game.
True. Anything can happen. It's
Yeah,
still.
but they'll get the ball. So then you're down 7. And
Oh, Andrew, what's up? Oh,
Okay.
what do you think, Andrew?
yeah.
No.
Andrew's got no opinion on that.
All right, so here's the thing, though. You look at the team in the beginning of the season. What were you expecting?
Not much.
Really?
No, actually, I mean, we talked about this a lot. The fact that they had DeMar DeRozan.
Look, you got two top 35 players.
And that's what I'm saying. You go back to last year, and I mean, all the Kawhi stuff, yeah, but they never had Kawhi.
With 7 games?
So they had an
Yeah.
all-star this year that they didn't have last year. I expected them actually to make the playoffs.
Right.
I didn't know how deep they would go, but I expected them to make the playoffs because they had an all-star and they had LaMarcus coming back and they had these young guys, and I knew they had to develop some guys, but the thing that really messed everything up was when DeJounte Murray went down.
That was going to be my point. Yeah.
That got out. Screwed up the whole
Yeah, I
project,
think that
so,
sort
yeah.
of derailed any sort of
Yeah.
thoughts of being
So-
a high seed in the Western Conference. I think just with the amount of talent that they had going into the season, LaMarcus and DeMar alone, are worth 40-plus wins. But DeJounte going down, I think, was the one that kind of really sort of got
They
the
weren't
season
prepared
sideways.
for something like that. Even Pop said, if I'd have
Yeah.
known, Tony
Tony might still
Yeah.
be here, man. Yeah.
But so, I mean, I don't think they were really prepared for that.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to be prepared for that next year. And if you look,
Well, they're gonna have a lot of guards
It's not
next
about it's not about looking back. It's now about looking forward.
Thanks, Pop. So that being said,
Yeah.
DeJounte's coming back. We've seen highlights of him throwing down crazy windmill
Yeah,
dunks.
yeah.
Haven't seen many videos of him shooting threes though. Little.
I wish you'd quit on the crazy windmill dunks at least till training
Yeah,
camp.
yeah. Let's hold off on doing
So,
anything crazy.
All
here,
that being
DeJounte.
said, is there a sense of optimism in
Oh,
2020?
Sure.
Absolutely. I mean, as far as any sort of free agent type moves, DeJounte is going to be the big addition for
Yeah.
this roster next year.
Considering he knows Pop, he knows the players, he knows the
I
offense.
mean, so absolutely, there's a sense of optimism.
What do you think
they're
the
gonna have to
lineup looks like?
Well, it's DeJounte, Derek.
Derek, can you
DeMar,
just stop
LaMarcus
right there and
and
talk
Purvis.
about those two guys
Yeah.
in the backcourt? Just those two guys. starting
Although
in
after the
backcourt.
36-point game, Derek White really kind of fell behind the curtains.
But
Like 0 for 7
You
in the
gotta
last
have some
game.
help.
Was he even on the floor in the last few minutes?
he wasn't on
He
the floor.
didn't play the fourth quarter. Nope.
I
Yeah.
think I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and say that foot was hurting.
Okay.
Plantar
I have heard
fasciitis.
that. I have heard that. Yeah.
And
But
that's why
still,
I think
you play the whole series, you have
Yeah.
your breakout game, and then in the last quarter, you're going to take the...
That's the learning process, though. I mean, this whole playoffs was. I mean, look where Denver's been and look where they are now. I mean, those guys weren't any good last year.
No,
And
they
look
didn't
where
make the
are.
playoffs.
And it's basically the same team this year, right?
They're just a year older.
And look at them.
Yeah.
Look where they are. They will challenge Portland, and I will not be surprised if they beat Portland. They got the home court advantage. Portland has nobody down low that can stop Jokic. That guy's like a machine down
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And then
See, I would-
they're
I
going
would
to end up
even
in the
say-
Western Conference Finals from being nobody to a Western Conference final participant.
So you're thinking that you take that progression and
Yeah.
you bring that to the young guys in the Spurs.
Yeah, well, look how many young guys they got. I mean, look at that backcourt. We've been talking about it. They're
Jamal Murray.
loaded in that backcourt, and they got all kind. In the front court, I mean, DeMar's not exactly an old man. He's not as young as he used to be, but he's not an old man. LaMarcus is not an old man.
He's getting there.
Yeah, but he's still got some left.
Oh yeah, I mean,
He's still
had a
gonna
couple
crank
40,
out a
50 point
What are you
games.
gonna do?
double-double,
What are you
yeah.
going to do with
Yeah.
these two draft picks?
He's still gonna.
You had 2 first-round draft picks. Never had. I almost said the Spurs never had 2 first-round draft picks.
They're late, though.
I just don't
They're
remember
late,
when.
yeah.
Yeah, but you can still package those
Oh,
up.
yeah.
I mean,
Move up.
you've got more options this
There
year
are options for sure.
than
Yeah.
you've ever had.
And Lonnie Walker, who really
Since-
hasn't been
Yeah,
in
so-
factor at all this year. And
Yeah.
Pop kind of
Pop talked about Lonnie also getting
Yeah.
more minutes, and remember Lonnie was hurt too to start the year.
Right.
So Lonnie also missed out. Really, when Lonnie got hurt, that kind of
Right, but I
derailed
think
his
even
whole
the
rookie
same thing
season.
with Derek White, what they did last year, where they give him a year to progress, prove that he can be
Well,
in the
now
league.
where's Lonnie been all year?
Well, I think
Been
he's
in the
still,
G League.
yeah.
Driving back and forth from Austin to San Antonio.
My thing with Derek White is this. I think Derek White learned some of the harsh realities of the NBA this year. I think that Derek, we saw him sort of hit this ascension where the 36-point game, Derek White's coming around, looks like a combination of Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, all the above. And then Denver really kind of made him the focal point, and we're going to shut you down.
Well,
Now
even
it's
the
on
second
Derek.
half of that team or that
This
game.
whole and now it's on Derek. Now this is
Yep.
this summer for Derek to really be like, hey, I'm gonna have to learn
Summer
from
of Derek.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to learn.
Summer of Derek.
I'm gonna have to learn from this because I really got taken out of this series, and that was really kind of something that I think will help him moving forward. But that was interesting to see.
Two other quick points about this summer. Number one, they don't have the distractions they had last year with Kawhi. No, serious.
that's true.
The only thing that they really had to worry about, that anybody really was concerned about, major thing, was what was Pop going to do. Done. Pop's staying.
Over, yeah.
We know that's a done deal.
So what do you
was
think that
solved
means
quick.
for the Spurs? What do you think that means for basketball?
I think that means a lot for Pop. I think it means a lot of cohesiveness. I think it means a lot more camaraderie. I think there's no distractions. There's no reason. And the other thing was, Pop mentioned in his press conference the other day that DeMar's got to get out past the three-point line and start practicing.
Yeah, but we've been saying that for 7 years now about DeMar.
I think you're going to see it happen. He's never had
He's
anybody
got
like Chip
he's
England
got the
either.
guru now.
Yeah.
I mean, Chip
And
England's changed.
If
Tony
DeMar
Parker,
wants
Kawhi.
to improve, I think that's where he's going to
And
go.
what happened to
when
the chip
Pop
on
tells
his
you
shoulder?
got to go out and start practicing threes, what are you going to do? Say, nah, I'm taking the summer off?
So the thing about DeMar is he came in with such a chip on his shoulder.
Right.
He came out firing, and I
Yeah.
feel like he almost lost that fire.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen, again, I thought that going into this series that you were going to need some huge games from DeMar, and there were at times that we saw it.
Yeah,
I think
a 30.
A 30. Game 6 had a big game, had a nice game for them. But I was a little bit disappointed, especially obviously in Game 7, because just the stigma, I mean, just I didn't want it to be, hey, we know this is the guy who we've always seen, through all the playoff disappointments in Toronto. I don't know. I hope
Do you
that
think
DeMar
that
kinda
stigma
comes back.
stuck?
Yeah, it's stuck.
Yeah, I think
so.
he can fix it now. What I would love to see is for him, and I know LaMarcus has been here a little bit longer, but for him to step up and say, this is my team, and I'm going to take over
But
this
I
team
also
on the
don't
floor.
think he has that leadership ability
Well,
in him.
but
He's never been thrust into that situation.
Tim Duncan
before.
never yelled at people, really, that we
Right.
saw.
Yeah.
But he
He
led by example. And I think DeMar needs to go out, and I would love to see it be him. Or it could very well be Derek White, too.
Yeah.
Because Derek White's got a little fire in him, if you notice. But somebody,
Do you think it could be
one of these
DeJounte
guys.
It could be
Murray?
DeJounte.
It
I
could
think
be.
DeJounte's kind of got some of
But
that in him.
somebody's going to have to step
Yeah.
up. Somebody's going to have to
So
start taking
being
control.
both of you guys,
But you always look for an older guy to do that.
Right.
And
Yeah.
maybe it is one of the younger guys. that
both
says,
of you
"Hey,
guys being at the games, being at the press conferences, seeing, talking, interacting with the players and the coaches, what is the vibe that you walk away with at the end of the season?
I thought that they were a cohesive group. I thought that, even Bryn Forbes said it after Game 7 that, this year was a good year because there was no in-house fighting, there was no in-house
There was no
arguments.
Kawhi.
They kind of, and again,
I think that's huge.
throughout all the setbacks, the 1-7 rodeo road trip and 11-14 start, they kind of bounced back every single time. I think they liked one another, but they're definitely a flawed team. They are a flawed team.
Sure
I
they
mean,
are.
they're
So-
missing elements that'll have them compete with the best in the league. But I think for the most part, they were a group that enjoyed being around one another.
Devil's advocate, do you think that after that rodeo road trip, after some of the bad losses, especially in the playoffs, especially after that, what was it, Game 2?
Oh, the 19-point.
The 19-point comeback.
twice.
Do you
Yeah.
think someone should have
That's-
stepped up and yelled
That's
and
what
said,
that's what they lacked. That's what I'm saying. Somebody's got to
right.
take
Everything
over that
goes.
role.
Everything seems like it's going cohesively,
Yeah.
but it's not Candyland
Well,
out there.
Yeah.
No, but I mean they blew two 19-point
Yeah.
leads in that one. But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. Somebody has got to step up and be the leader and say this is not happening. This is not
'Cause
happening
this year,
again.
even after-
even in little situation,
Right.
overall this is not happening again. In situations during games, this is not happening again. And somebody's got to step up and take it. See, that's what that was Tim Duncan's role. Tim Duncan could take over a game and get you a win by himself. And I saw it how many times? How many times did we see that over the years? And that's what I'm talking about. Not necessarily somebody yelling and screaming, but if it's DeMar DeRozan going to take over, then take it over. Yeah. Go out there and just flat out take it over. Quit dishing it out to some guy standing on the three-point line. Give me the ball and let me score. That in itself is leadership. To me, on a basketball court, that's leadership.
There was one guy who I remember after looking through all the quotes after Game 2 who was upset. As the other guys were saying, oh, we got the split, but it's what we needed to do. Patty Mills was the one who was really bothered and upset, and Patty's just the link to the old guard, and I think he kind of knew that they let it go.
And he's been around a while, but where was he?
That's.
He couldn't hit a shot.
He's not, but Patty's not. Patty isn't. He's a great glue guy, but he's not going to be the talent. Yeah.
See, but that goes back to that. That's another thing about
he's
DeMar,
got to try to transfer that.
Let's say Pop talks to DeMar and says, "All right, you need to learn how to hit a three-pointer. You need to start working on that." And DeMar gets in the gym all summer long, and he comes out and his three-point ability. wouldn't expect it to be great. I would expect it to be
35%.
Yeah.
I mean, Giannis hits 24, 25 but you still kind of fear him because you have to guard it.
But isn't that leadership? The fact that he spent all summer in the gym working on that three-pointer?
Yes.
And he comes out and he's better at it. Wouldn't you consider that leadership? But that's what I'm talking about.
I would consider him. I like almost that Kobe mentality. Give me the ball and get out of my way.
Yeah.
And you just didn't see that from anybody.
No.
You didn't see anyone angry at press conferences. You saw half the people just like the LaMarcus thing. You have the same face, and you're like, we made a mistake.
LaMarcus,
we're moving on.
I know.
No,
I should
the
have
season's
fouled.
over.
I didn't foul. That's it. Yeah, I know.
You can't move on.
I hope that's DeMar or one of the young guys. I mean, we'll see. But to me, that's the missing link.
So from your perspective, did the Spurs lose the series, or did the Nuggets truly win it?
Oh, let me go with that one first. Nuggets. You saw the Nuggets grow up in front of your face right there. They grew up, and Malone became a better coach in Game 3 and 4 than he was in Games 1 and 2. I mean, look what they did to Derek White.
Yep.
I mean,
second half
Derek
alone,
White
they shut him
couldn't
down.
respond. Yeah. So I mean, the Spurs screwed up some, but I'm going to give the Nuggets a lot of credit.
I think the Spurs lost it. Me personally, you steal Game 1. You blow Game 2.
I was trying to help you guys out.
No, you blow Game 2.
They're not going to give you free tickets.
You're up 2-1. Yeah, I know. You're up 2-1. Game 4, I mean, you could have gone up 3-1. Didn't seal the deal there. Game 5, I knew that they were going to get blown out. Take care of business. Game 6. Game 7, had they not come out so flat and just
the first quarter was abysmal.
Awful. I mean, awful. But
do you want me to get on a soapbox? First
off,
I'm just saying. I think
teach these guys
there were multiple
opportunities. Teach them how to. They twice in the series they got caught for a 5-second violation. Well, how do you throw it? Just throw it in there. Let somebody go get it. But
you're right. I don't see that with any other team. I don't see that with any other team.
Goodness, that was
so. That's my thought. But what?
And how do you blow 2 19-point leads in the same game?
Okay,
you were on the other side.
What happened?
You blew 2 19-point. How did that happen?
Okay.
You're up 19 going into, late in the third quarter, going into the fourth quarter, you're up 19, you're cruising. All of a sudden, it's like, what happened?
There you go.
And this is going to be tough to kind of.
Game 4, we done. Game 4 is at home. And you
up
blow
by double
the fourth
figures.
quarter.
Up by double figures after the first quarter, and then they just give it away in the second quarter,
you
third
blew
quarter.
it in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
You could have still won it.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, both sides of the aisle there.
What's going to be difficult? What's going to be difficult?
Way on the left.
I know. What's going to be difficult about this is that if Jokic just has his way with Cantor and the inside guys of Portland, then I mean you could just see that LaMarcus was going to have some nice games against them. The Spurs would have matched up.
That's your other frustration.
Yeah, that's my frustration.
So now you're forward thinking. You're like, they could have beaten the Blazers.
I'm forward thinking
be with the Warriors again.
I'm forward thinking frustration, but whatever. I think they lost the series. Me personally.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Right.
We move on.
2020
I'm not looking back. I'm looking forward.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, David. Anything you want to plug?
Go Spurs, go!
That was terrible. We got to redo that one.
Give me some good draft picks. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. I'm thinking bundle them up and trade.
Okay.
That's what I'm
Move up.
Move up. What do you think?
I like it. I keep seeing that they may try and go after DeAndre Hunter, the kid from Virginia.
No, they're gonna draft 2 guys who you never heard of. And stick them in,
And they're gonna be Hall of Famers.
Yorgi Montanatis or Gidis or something. Yes.
We're back. David, bringing the fire today. I really appreciate it. Honestly, like sometimes it's like he's got stuff to do.
Yeah. I kind of
Also,
needed
I like
to
this
nudge
moderator
him
role I'm
over.
taking.
Oh, you like that?
A little bit.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, okay.
It's only fun when you guys disagree. When you agree, it's just like, all right.
Right.
I'm
I
bored.
kind of wanted to, because when he was talking about, Denver came along, this and that, I was like, no, man.
You pulled him over. I'm very impressed.
The Spurs blew
I got
that
a little
series,
criticism
man.
here. You ready?
Yeah,
I'm
go for it.
I'm coming out with
Go
fire.
for it.
Sometimes you can be a little passive, but you're like real on edge there, and you brought him over.
Yeah, I
loved
did.
it.
Yeah. So
He ended
I
up
had
conceding.
fun.
He was like, he's right. I was like,
Point
for RJ here.
This guy, yeah. But it's unfortunate. Spurs are out, but
But you know what? We still got basketball.
Yeah, we still do. Yes.
All right,
some
so
interesting stuff happening.
I don't even want to talk about the games yet. I want to talk about the officiating.
Oh,
So
yes.
1 minute on officiating. What is your take?
It's the
Not even
worst.
a minute, 12 seconds.
It's definitely the worst player official ref relationship that we've seen in a long time. I mean, players complaining about calls, that's always been around. I mean, Jesus, like Tim Duncan never committed a foul in his life.
Do you
know what I mean?
remember
Like that guy,
Well,
he'd always complain.
Do you remember when he got attacked for laughing at the
Yes.
ref?
Oh, of course. Yeah, Joey Crawford. That was an all-time moment when he got ejected by sitting on the bench. Yeah. So I think it's pretty bad right now. Now, fortunately, after Game 2, Warriors, Rockets, they kind of calmed it down. And I was watching some of that game yesterday, and it looked like both teams were playing hard, competing hard, and it was a physical game. And I'm glad that the refs weren't, overly calling it, and that the players were somewhat, at least kind of restraining themselves a little bit. I think it was a lot of,
I think Adam Silver
too much
was like,
talk.
listen, guys.
Yeah.
Do you want the whole conversation about the playoffs to be about officiating or about the game?
Yeah, I'm
We're
pretty
talking
sure they
about
got
officiating.
some
I don't
memos.
want to talk about officiating.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the game. So
They got some memos, I'm guessing.
we got Blazers, Nuggets, Houston's Dubs.
Yes.
Who you got winning each one?
Man,
And in
so
how many
okay,
games?
I mean, I'll be complete transparency. I had Houston beating Golden State. Doesn't look great now. And I had Portland obviously beating Denver. I think we saw what Damian Lillard did in the first round.
Yep.
Now I think I may be wrong on both those series. Wow. And for one, I didn't realize that Enes Kanter was as banged up as he is. His shoulder's pretty messed up. So I think Jokic is going to have his way inside with anything that Portland throws at him. And as long as Denver is able to kind of control the guard play from Portland, I think Denver's in a good spot. Man, Golden State looks kind of like they found a little bit of what they had last 3 years ago. You know what I mean? Old Draymond Green coming back.
They
have
no
Andre
depth,
Iguodala.
but-
They have they don't have depth, but
You don't need it in the playoffs.
They don't. That being said, Houston's been in the past 2 games has not been able to make any sort of shots.
Okay, so you're saying Warriors how many games?
Well, I'm still sticking with the Rockets, man. I'm
Wow.
still going to stick with the Rockets.
They're
I
down
think Rockets
0-2.
Look, bold. I'm going to make a bold move here. I'm still going to stick with the Rockets.
Rockets in 6?
Rockets in 7.
I would hope so. All right, Blazers Nuggets,
Sorry,
real
Spurs
fast.
fans. Blazers Nuggets. I thought it was going to be Portland in 6, but I think
Nuggets?
Denver is now in a good spot here. Yeah.
That's going to lead us to our breakfast bet in a second, though.
okay.
Just in a second. 1 second.
Yeah.
Celtics Bucks, go.
Celtics
Tied at
Bucks
1-1.
tied 1-1. That's probably, man, on the spot right there. You know what? I think Boston's going to win that series. I think Boston wins it in 6.
Okay, even after last night.
Even after last night, I think the Celtics are playing
For
pretty
those
well.
of you who didn't see last night,
Yeah.
everyone on the Bucks stepped up.
Everyone
the 3
stepped
best
up.
players had 20-plus games.
Everyone for Boston played terribly. So yeah, Andrew's doing some weird arms. Okay, Bucks. There you go.
Yeah, Kyrie only had like 9 points.
Yeah.
All right, Sixers Raptors. I'm not going to take this personally at all.
Okay,
We're tied 1-1 going to Philly.
I picked Toronto to make the finals, so I'm sticking with the Raps. Yeah.
So here's my thing before we go to the breakfast bet.
Uh-oh.
Our first podcast,
Yeah.
the first one we've ever done, I said I had a hot take. And this was when DeMarcus was still, this was when I was coming in super hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sticking with it. I said the Warriors would not, I said the Warriors dynasty is over.
Yeah, you did say that. I remember it. Yeah.
And you
I
know
think
what?
you doubled down on it a few times.
I
You did.
I
on
did, and I'm
other
staying with it.
podcasts. You're sticking with it.
I'm sticking
okay,
with it.
Yeah.
Look,
yeah.
they are incredible. No one, especially Adrian, can never hear me say this. I think Steph is way too banged up to carry a team right now.
Okay, yeah.
Although even
But
last night he excelled with a dislocated finger,
Right,
which
did you
was
see that thing?
ridiculous.
Oh my God, that
It
thing
was
looked
literally
horrible.
like
Yeah.
this, and he
Yeah,
was still
like a bone was
splashing. Oh
sticking
my
out of-
goodness.
Yeah, that was nuts.
But I think it's KD's team,
Yeah. Yeah.
not
Not
morale-wise.
KD's city, not
Right.
KD's front. It's I get what you're saying. Yeah,
But like he is the scorer.
right, and KD's the best right now. KD is
best
hitting
player
his.
on
The
Stride.
ultimate KD-ness of
Yeah.
whatever he could be. He's hitting it right now. Yeah.
So before Andrew
So
has
did you
an
see that
aneurysm.
coming though? Did you see KD kind of taking
Yes.
it even to a high? You
see-
saw
yeah.
KD
Yeah.
taking it to a higher level?
Yeah.
See, I didn't. I thought KD was going to give you 25, 30, but not the dominance that
No,
he's
because
shown so
it's
far.
one of those things where, I mean, you talk to any coach. Sorry,
hard
this is
rap.
when we have the good stuff. You talk to any coach in the league, and they
Hard
say
rap.
winning back-to-back is so
Yeah.
difficult because you always have a target on your back.
Yeah.
And all year, we've seen the target on every one of their backs. What's Draymond going to do next year?
Yeah.
What's Clay going to do next year? You know, is Steph falling a little bit?
Right.
What's his injury look like? And then with KD, it was the whole question of free agency's coming.
Yeah.
Do you want your own team or do you want to live in the shadow of Steph your whole career?
Yeah.
Like, he's obviously one of the best scorers we've ever seen, but at the end of the day, if he doesn't leave Golden State and win a ring on his own, no one's going to care. So the question is, what can he do to separate himself from everyone else? I think once he got into the playoffs, he was like, you know what, this is go time. Like, we coasted through. They knew they were making the playoffs. Do you think they really cared about the 1 seed?
No,
not at all. Not at all. You think they're
They
scared
could've been
about
a
going
four-
to
they could've been
Denver?
a 4 seed and
Right.
still not,
They didn't care about going to Denver. No one. So I think KD was like, listen, if I have to do it, I'm going to do it. Steph's still banged up. Steph and Clay are both hurt. They both have ankle injuries. Steph was dealing with like sickness. He dislocated his finger last night, and they're still doing just fine. So it's really hurting my point about the dynasty being over. But
I know, that's what I'm saying. But okay,
I think that they
I
still
did not
lose.
see. Again, you said what can KD do, blah blah, and you basically just said it
He
right
do.
there. Yeah, he's taking it to the next level. That being said, hey man, they
He
just
can average
they just
50 a
took care-
game.
They took care of business at home.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be stubborn, and I'm gonna say that the Rockets still win this series. But for winning 4 out of 5 games, that's gonna be a tough deal. So.
Yeah.
James Harden gotta do something here. James Harden, Chris Paul, James Harden needs to drop like 40 or so. I have one of those types of James Harden games. Yeah.
Problem is he's actually getting officiated now. All right, breakfast bet. Denver -4 tonight. I'm excited. I'm off tomorrow, so that means I can actually watch every second of the game.
Nice.
On
-4
time,
tonight,
not
Denver.
rerun in the morning.
All right, so
It's in Denver.
it's
Denver
in Denver.
-4.
In Denver.
I want Portland +4.
Oh man, I was gonna take Portland.
Portland +4 so bad.
Okay, sure.
just-
I'll take the
okay,
Nuggets,
deal.
even though I'm not very confident.
I don't know where
right
we
now.
stand at breakfast bets
I'm
right now.
dude, I'm like
I
in the
know it was
middle.
up by 3 at one point.
No, you're up 2. Okay. You can see that.
Oh,
3.
Andrew's throwing up a 3.
You lost a lot.
Thank you, Andrew.
Well then, come on, Nikola.
Nikola Jokic.
By the way, I gotta say this about Nikola Jokic, man. After seeing them here in San Antonio, this guy looks nothing like any sort of NBA player. You would ever
No.
imagine. So for KSAT, I was doing the visiting locker room with photojournalist Adam Higgins. Great job, Adam. And every time I was kind of like stuck next to Nikola, and he'd be like on his phone, like. This guy like just does not look anything like any sort of NBA player, but you watch him on the court, and I was just like, wow, that's impressive.
It's music and rhythm.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a good way to put it.
you guys kept talking about how he was so dominant in the post. I think he's more effective out of the post.
I think he's got every array of moves in his outside shot, and my God, Andrew.
He can hit threes. He can pass like a true point guard.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess he has a little post in him.
Yeah, but
I think he has a little cushion for the pushing.
I'm sold. Yes, for sure. Okay.
All right, social push. Push down low, Andrew. Don't give me that. Don't give me that look. He pushed LaMarcus Aldridge around. We might have to edit that part out. All right, social push. Who are we thanking? Steph. Thanking Steph.
Yeah.
All right, so
Co-anchor.
shout out to Stephanie Cerna, my co-anchor on the weekends. Also, if you don't watch GMSA on the weekends, you're really missing
What are you
out.
doing?
We have a lot of
What
fun.
is
Yeah,
wrong with you?
come on.
Yeah. What
Messing
is
up.
wrong?
But Steph, if you're watching or listening, first, thank you. Second of all, thank you for liking all of our social stuff. You are the best. And for anyone else out there who wants to get involved with the pod, who has questions, concerns, who just, wants feedback or wants a shout out, comment, post, tweet at us, put on our Facebooks. We have an Instagram, KSAT Run It Back, KSAT. Run It Back KSAT. We have an Instagram, Run It Back KSAT.
Hard behind the scenes.
Thank you to our producer, Andrew, who is really the MVP.
Yeah, he is.
You're the true
Andrew
MVP,
Wilson,
speaking of
just
KD. I'm about to
amazing
cry
guy,
for
yeah.
you.
No.
And you know what? If you don't subscribe, you don't rate us, we don't want you. That's a lie. We always want you. So make sure to rate and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Wow.
And yeah, that's all I got.
I don't even know what else to say.
Anything you want to push out?
At KSATRJ, Instagram, Twitter, and Run It Back on Instagram.
He has an Instagram.
I
he
do
really
have
just
that,
reposts
yes.
all of our stuff. And by that I mean Andrew reposts all of our
Thanks,
stuff.
Andrew. Wouldn't be able to do it without him. But yeah.
Any
follow
good
us.
stories you're working on?
Oh, that's a good one. Actually, I'm trying to put together a couple of stories, some local high school kids, so we'll see that.
Get them on the pod.
It comes together, yes. That's something that we're going to try and do this summer for sure.
I like that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, get some of these kids in here.
I don't have a pen to draw. Oh, yeah, I do. Thank you so much for watching.